What's good, everyone? It's your boy Anthony with part 3 of your origami journey. So if you're ready to co-create, then let's have at it. Last time we did a simple swan, so thought it might be fitting if we kind of stayed within those parameters and went to a simple bird. That being said, we start off again with our 6 3/4 inch square of origami paper, two-sided, purple on one side, white on the other. We're going to start purple side up and do a diamond shape here. Now, first thing we're going to do is take and fold this piece up in half, and remember, with me, I like the corners to be meshed. That usually makes for the straightest crease across. Not gonna lie, I made a video earlier, then realized I had to put some CeraVe in motion, so here we are. So that being said, we're gonna take this piece and fold it down. Again, the corner for me is where it's at. We're going to crease that corner down and align the rest of it, mesh with the bottom line of your triangle here. Okay, so far so good, easy peasy. And your paper should look identical to what you see here. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it not frontwards but backwards. So we're going to keep this white piece up front here, and we are just going to fold it, your triangle, in half. So we'll create an additional triangle and crease it like such. So hopefully you have the two-sided colored paper to where you can see what should be showing versus what shouldn't be showing. But you should have a product that looks similar to what you see here. From here, we're going to take this piece at the top, this corner nugget here, and we're going to fold it down so that we mesh it along the bottom of your triangle here. Okay, remember, your imperfection is your perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we can continue to strive. Okay, so now you should have all purple and it looks similar to this. Your next fold is going to be a way of just pulling out what you just folded. So just to kind of simplify it, I love the idea of simplicity. We'll pull this up a little bit here. You're going to just grab this flap and push it down. So you should have a piece that looks like so. All right, so with that being said, hopefully we're in the same spot. We're going to move on to our next step. And our next step, super simple, we're going to take and just open up your triangle. So now we have a white triangle, or whatever color yours is on the other side of your paper, and it may be the same color, but just to put it in context, it is the other side of the paper, as you can see. From here, what we're going to do is take either side and we're going to fold it to line up mesh with the center line here. So I'm going to take and crease this. There goes my corner line up, and there's my crease. All right, and then we're going to do the exact same thing to this side. Fold it, and you want it to be as mesh as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect, folks. Remember that. So once I have my two sides folded inward to align with the center, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the flaps again. So this flap, I'm going to bring it to the center to align mesh and crease it out. All right, and then we'll do the same thing to this side. We're just going to grab it, fold it to the center line, and then crease it out. You should already have lines there and there, and your product should look exactly like this. As you can see, we do have a little tail sticking out here, and that's fine. That's exactly where we want to be. All right, from here, what we want to do is we're going to fold this in half. All right, so just take your whole piece, fold it in half. Oh, one step before we do that. So we want to create the beak from this piece. Something important that stands out here for me. So when I was going through it a few times, I would tend to make the beak too long. So my suggestion is when you fold down, it's probably no more than an inch. Okay, so the beak would be no more than about an inch. All right, if you see, that's how I measure inches with just my finger. So you have your beak folded down, and now I want you to fold it all right back up with an additional fold here. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. So as you can see what we did, we folded down and then folded not the entire way, but that's probably about a centimeter with another valley fold. All right, so now I got it in front of myself a little bit, but now we're in the right place. So we have something that looks like this. Hopefully yours is the same. Now we'll go ahead and take the entire piece and just fold it in half, like so. Okay, so we fold it in half. And here's that piece of tail that we were just talking about that was sticking out. So you know which way that you folded it. So if your piece looks like mine, you're perfect. What we're going to do is just take this tail piece and open it up. We're almost there. So hopefully yours looks very similar to this. If not, I would just suggest rewinding and going back to take a look just to make sure. We're down to the last couple of folds here. And what we're going to do here, very important, I had to do this a couple of times when I first started, but this piece here, we're going to fold down to create, the bird's head. So we're going to, if you can see, I kind of open it up a little bit, but we're going to do an inverted fold like such. Now, you're going to be tempted to make it mesh with this little back of the bird, but you want to go down a little further than the back of the bird, okay? So you see how I went down a little further before I started to make my crease, which will become the bird's head. Like such. Okay. All right, folks, hopefully this is what your bird is beginning to develop into. Kind of a tricky fold, but I think it's simple enough and you're advanced enough that you'll be able to do so. And we're down to our last two folds. And I want to just mention the feet or what's next. So when I first learned, the common means to create the feet were to take one leg and fold it so that it aligns with the bottom of the bird like such, and just do the exact same thing to the other kind of foot there. And voila, there you have your simple bird. Now what I was getting at earlier is the feet are folded out, so is this a bird that can stand? Absolutely. But what I did find, and you want to, make sure you do what works best for you. But one thing that I did find is that if I took and I folded, instead of going to the outside, I went to the inside with the foot, right? And did the same thing on the other foot. So instead of folding it outside, I took it inside. And what I found was when I went to, instead of the feet spreading out when it stands up, the feet stay together like so. So now when you stand it up, the feet stay together, and I think it gives kind of a more firm stance in my opinion, but to each their own. It's totally up to you. That concludes today's session. This is our simple bird, and until the next date to co-create, 5 bands everyone, and I'll see you next time.